Listen up, Rams Nation, because what we're witnessing right now between Matthew Stafford and Puka Nacua is nothing short of electric. And you need to understand just how special this connection has become heading into year 3 of what's shaping up to be one of the most dominant quarterback-receiver partnerships in franchise history. And honestly, in the entire NFL right now, because the numbers don't lie. And the chemistry is absolutely off the charts in ways that should have every single member of the Ramily buzzing with excitement about what this duo can accomplish the rest of this season and beyond. Let me take you back to where this all started, because the origin story is absolutely incredible and shows you exactly what kind of competitor Puka Nacua is and what kind of leader Matthew Stafford has always been. Picture this: two fresh-faced rookies, Puka and Davis Allen, sitting in the team hotel, barely able to process that they're now LA Rams, when suddenly their phones buzz, and it's Matthew Stafford, the Super Bowl champion, the guy who just led this franchise to the promised land, texting them in a group chat, asking when they can get together to throw. And for Puka, this was like getting a text from football royalty, and he remembers thinking, "Holy cow, I gotta go run the best routes of my life, because this is the moment where you prove you belong in this league and on this team." Now, here's where it gets even better, because when they actually got together for that first throwing session, Puka was so nervous, so determined to make the right impression, that when Stafford was explaining how he wanted him to run a route, Puka responded with "yes sir," like he was talking to a commanding officer, and Stafford immediately checked him and said, "Don't call me." And Puka was internally panicking, thinking he'd already messed everything up before it even started. And the best part is, 3 years later, Stafford doesn't even remember being called sir, but he does remember how nervous Puka was joking, that the kid might have thrown up a couple times after running some routes. And you know what? That shows you the kind of genuine, authentic relationship these two have built, where they can laugh about those early days while absolutely dominating defenses in the present. Fast forward to right now, and what we're seeing is a partnership that has transcended those rookie jitters and evolved into something truly spectacular. Because even after missing a game and a half with an ankle injury, Puka is second in the entire NFL in receptions with 54 catches and fourth in receiving yards with 616. And those aren't just good numbers. Those are elite numbers from a guy who's proving that his record-breaking rookie season wasn't a fluke. It was just the beginning. And here's the kicker: he's second in the league this season in yards per route run at 3.42, which is exactly what he led the league in last year. So we're talking about sustained excellence and efficiency that makes defensive coordinators lose sleep at night. But let's talk about what Stafford is doing, because Staff Daddy is putting up some of the best numbers of his entire decorated career. And when he's targeting Puka, he has a 117. 2-passer rating, which would be the highest mark for this duo if it holds through the end of the season. And that tells you everything about the trust, the timing, the connection that these two have developed, because you don't post those kinds of numbers unless you're completely in sync, unless you know exactly where your guy's going to be and exactly when he's going to be there. And that's the level we're at right now with 9 and the kid. What makes this even more remarkable is that Stafford could see the potential in Puka from day one, even when the rookie was nervous, and calling him sir, because Stafford recognized the physicality, the willingness to learn, the dedication to the craft. And while he might have been pleasantly surprised that this late-round draft pick was going to be decent, he watched Puka turn himself into something way more than decent. He's become elite, and Stafford has been there every step of the way to help mold him into the weapon he is today. Here's where the story gets really good, because as a rookie, Puka wasn't immediately in Stafford's circle during warm-ups. At practice, Staff was still throwing to the trusted veterans like Tyler Higbee and Van Jefferson, while Puka was in the receiver line, watching and learning and waiting for his opportunity. And that opportunity came in his very first game on the second target of his NFL career, when Stafford called a run-pass option that required Puka to make a split-second decision based on how he read the defense, and Puka made the right read, and the ball was exactly where it needed to be. And in that moment, Puka realized, oh my gosh, he's thinking like me, or I'm thinking like him. And from that point forward, their communication just exploded. And they've been on the same wavelength ever since. Now, let me tell you about something that not enough people are talking about, and that's the legendary breakfast club that Stafford and Cooper Kupp started, where they'd meet before sunrise to break down film study opponents and brainstorm ideas for the upcoming game plan. And as a rookie, Puka got invited into this exclusive club, and he got to watch two absolute masters of the craft dissect defenses and understand leverage and route concepts at the highest possible level. And Puka was smart enough to realize that when Stafford was talking to Coop about certain concepts, he was also teaching Puka through those conversations, planting seeds that would grow into the chemistry we see today. Fast forward to this season, and the Breakfast Club is still going strong, even after Coop's departure to Seattle. And now it's just Stafford and Puka in there with eggs, bacon, toast, and football talk. And Puka admits he's not quite as early as Staff and Coop used to be, but he's still showing up. He's still putting in the work. And now, instead of just observing, he's an active participant, having those detailed conversations about leverage and route concepts and coverage tendencies. And this is how you build trust. This is how you become someone your quarterback can throw a no-look pass to in the season opener, because he knows you're going to be exactly where you need to be. Speaking of that no-look pass, let's talk about the season opener for a second, because Puka made slight adjustments to two seam routes to beat different types of coverage, and Stafford didn't need any communication. Before the snap, he just knew what Puka was going to do based on the look the defense was showing. And that's when, you've reached that elite tier of quarterback-receiver partnerships, when you can make adjustments on the fly without verbal communication, just reading body language and trusting the thousands of reps you've banked together in practice and in game. And Stafford threw one of his signature no-look passes because his confidence in Puka was that high. When Sean McVay watches Puka this year, he sees a receiver who has complete confidence in where Stafford is leading him with the ball. And that trust shows up in the stats, because Puka has 0 drops this season. 0 because he's not turning early to look upfield for running lane or incoming defenders. He's trusting that 9 is going to put the ball exactly where it needs to be to protect it. And that's the kind of trust that wins championships. That's the kind of connection that makes defenses absolutely helpless, because how do you stop two guys who are that perfectly in sync? But this relationship goes beyond just X's and O's, beyond just route running and timing, because Puka was learning life lessons from Stafford in those breakfast club meetings about leadership, about communication, about how to tailor your message to different people so it feels genuine and authentic. And Stafford has talked about how his communication skills from football have carried over into his personal life with his kids. And now Puka is taking those same lessons and applying them as he grows into a leader for his position group and for this entire football team. And that's what makes this partnership so special. It's not just about winning games, it's about building each other up as men and as leaders. And then there's the moment that ties it all together. That perfect full-circle moment in the season opener against Houston when Stafford threw what seemed like just another innocuous screen pass to Puka. On the right side, nothing special, just another routine play. Except it wasn't routine at all, because that pass made Stafford just the nth player in NFL history to surpass 60,000 career passing yards. And he didn't even realize it until he got to the sideline and saw it on the Oculus board. And you know what Stafford did? He walked up behind Puka, who he still calls Kid, and said, "I'm glad that one went to you, because Stafford had missed being on the field when Puka broke the rookie receptions and yards records last year, since he was resting in Week 18. So this was his chance to be part of one of Puka's historic moments, and Puka got to be part of one of Stafford. And that's just classic, poetic, beautiful football symmetry. The bottom line is this: Rams fans, what we're watching right now is special, and it's only getting better, because year 3 of the Stafford-Nakua connection is producing career-best numbers for both guys. And the trust, the communication, the chemistry is at an all-time high. And with the way this offense is clicking, with the way Staff is slinging the ball, and Puka making defenders look silly on every route, this team has legitimate championship aspiration, and a huge part of that is built on the foundation that a nervous rookie and a Super Bowl winning quarterback started building 3 years ago, when one called the other sir, and the other said, "Don't do that." And now they're making NFL history together. They're putting up numbers that have this fan base dreaming big, and they're showing the entire league that the Rams have one of the most dangerous duos in football, and it's only going to get more dangerous as this season progresses. So buckle up, Ramily, because this ride is just getting started, and with 9 throwing to the kid, the sky is literally the limit for what this team can accomplish. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, because we're bringing you all the latest Rams coverage and breaking down every game, every connection, every moment that makes this team special. And let me ask you this, Rams fans, who do you think is more important to the Rams' success this season? Is it A, Matthew Stafford, leadership and precision throwing, or B, Puka Nacua's elite route running and 0 drops? Drop your answer in the comments below. Let's get a discussion, because I want to hear what the Ramily thinks about this incredible duo.